Okay. One day I'm going to go into a lengthy discussion, or at least 30 minutes, what it's really like to be an actress, in the fact that you probably will have to keep your day job or night job or some jobs. But what that's really like, pursuing that, what you really have to do to uh, get started in that, and how you might have to work for free for a while, and unless you're doing extra work, but that's a whole another thing. But it's not a bad idea to do a little bit of that too, or if you have to do more of it, it's okay. So to pay bills or whatever, depending on where you live. So, but I'll go into a long dissertation about that for. I guess it'll mainly be for beginners or intermediates, but it might be an idea for um, people that have been actors a long time, or writers, or you know people that have had to also look for other jobs to go in between their gigs, and how I've kind of balanced all of it. What I've kind of learned is my acting training can help me get possibly get and keep jobs, even jobs I don't like much, because I have the acting skills to act like I like a job that I don't. I mean, let's face it, I mean, it's tough out there. Not everybody has their dream job. And nobody, I mean, a lot of people have never had their dream job, but when you have a job, you have to really act like you like the job, even if you don't. I mean, unless nobody likes their job, and it's that kind of environment. But it's so competitive. Places are just constantly looking for ways to trim their budgets. So you better go in. You better learn to like it, right? Or learn to love it, or learn to and you can put yourself into a character. That's your character at work. Like when I was a cashier, I could pretend like I was a cashier, like or just think of things like I thought when I had cashiering jobs. I thought, well, Meg Ryan was a cashier. Of course, that was a long time ago, and she made it big in acting. Or, think of things like that. Or think of actors that have been substitute teachers, or they've sold real estate or advertising, or which I've done a little bit of advertising too. I haven't thought about selling real estate too, but I just was. It sounds a little goofy, but it's really not, because I was raised. I'm not gonna say raised by wolves. That's a whole other thing in our trauma group. It's kind of like a joke, but no. I mean, I was raised okay. I mean, there were some issues, but it was that I've overcome in my life. But basically, I was raised to believe that, like a lot of women in my generation, that we were just going to go ahead and finally get married and be Susie Homemaker, and that type of thing. See, so basically, just be Susie Homemaker, and marry the dentist or the chiropractor or the veterinarian or the the act the attorney or doctor, or, if you're lucky, like someone that's very prestigious. But of course, I always felt like I had to be in love with the person, and I think most people do feel that way. Um, Although it would be nice to be with a successful person. But anyway, basically, that's how I was raised. So so I always felt like, well, if I'm going to have to work, and I'm not going to be a Susie Homemaker at home and just do a little acting or writing whenever I feel like it, then I might as well make sure the jobs are interesting, or that I can handle the jobs, and kind of like a variety of jobs that I find interesting. See, so that's kind of how I felt about it. Just to kind of make life interesting. If you have to work, just keep it interesting. Okay, so that's another reason I've changed a lot of different jobs and careers, and jobs and careers are not always, what you think they are either. And, sometimes they were just very competitive, or they were very small places where they didn't really have the budget, and so they were always cutting the budget. Like in a lot of the small newspapers, they cut the budget a lot. But anyway, so okay, over and out, and we'll be talking about it more about how all your jobs kind of help each other. Like my grandmother used to say, it's all good experience. So I'll be going into more detail again tomorrow or Saturday about it. Okay, so but my favorite jobs that I've ever had, my favorite work that I've ever done has been in the news business, reporter, editor, photographer, and that got more competitive. As I got older, they tend to use younger people. And then also, of course, acting. I love acting, but I just, like a lot of actors, I haven't figured out how to make much money at it. But I'm working on it. So anyway, and there's a lot to that. So okay, guys, well, over and out, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye.